Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Thursday, so you know we are here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shamizu and friends. And Robin has a wonderful guest for us, as you can see. And we're going to let her introduce her. But before she does that, I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. She's on the road today. And so we just want to wish her well in all her endeavors. And we'll see her soon on Friday. But in the meantime, we're going to find out what we can do to be happy and healthy. How you doing this morning, Robin and Jill? How
I'm
are you,
doing
ladies?
great.
Good, good.
Hello, Jill.
Good
Thank
morning.
you, thank you, Terry and Francine, for the platform. It's just really fun to be here with you every Thursday. So, my thing has been lately, I've been wanting to help people reduce stress, and I'm going to introduce Jill in just a second, but I wanted to read this because I liked it, and it was just very simple. It's about personal transformation and how meditation can help us with personal transformation. So I found this. It says meditation can bring about a true personal transformation from the inside out. As you experience your inner storehouse of peace and security, excuse me, you will naturally begin to discover aspects of yourself that were previously hidden due to stress. And I like that because I thought, okay, that helped crystallize in my mind why I'm thinking meditation is it's been helping me a lot. So thank you, Jill. Okay, so let me introduce Jill real quickly. So I met Jill years ago during Bikram yoga, and we hooked up recently, and she's been I call her my meditation guru, or my meditation yogi guru. And she teaches yoga nidra, which is a very wonderful practice where I feel like it's more like yoga and meditation together. And that's why I enjoy it so much, because it forces me to finally relax. And Jill walks you through it through yoga nidra. Anyway, she owns a yoga studio in Elk Grove, California, called The Breathing Space. And we just love her. She's doing online classes now, and she does individual. Anyway, Jill, please introduce yourself. Thank you so much for being here. I love you to pieces. So we're going to learn something new about how to manage our stress in this fourth quarter.
Yes. And actually, a good announcement that I don't want to say it's created stress yet, but that's why I want to do the fourth quarter. It could be coming. So as of yesterday at 3 p.m., I was allowed to reopen again under the COVID mandate. I fall under fitness studios and gyms. So the phone started ringing, text started coming in. I'm like, wait. I had just put out my schedule for all the online classes. So now I'm doing, I will be doing in person. We're going to do a trial run this Friday, but in person, online. And then people really, while the weather has been good, they want outdoor meditation sessions. So I have more balls in the air as of yesterday. And I was like, okay, sit down, stop, figure this out. I have dedicated more time this weekend because I don't have time yet to completely slow down. But I actually calendared out this weekend to sit down and project. For me, it's going to be the next 2 or 3 weeks. But in line with what I'm talking about today is really that fourth quarter focus. As you said about meditation, if you don't sit still and you don't call to mind what is going on for you and what you want to go on, you're probably not going to be successful in business or successful personally. You're going to feel like you're just running around, you're just producing services and products and think, what the heck is going on? So yesterday we're going to focus on fourth quarter focus because it is October. Then we have November. Then we have December. And Terry's laughing. And we're done. That may feel good for some people. I know some of us are wanting, can 2020 just be over? But who knows what 2021 is going to bring. So I really want to focus. For some people, they run their business on a quarter financially. Sometimes that's just helpful for planning. So that's what I wanted to share a little bit today. And as Robin said, my name is Jill Weston, and I have a studio and online business now called Breathing Space, and I help people calm their chaos. And sometimes your chaos is other people's chaos and vice versa. So that's what we will do today. So I'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
And feel free, if there's any comments or questions, I want this to be interactive, and whether people are watching live or on the replay, to definitely chime in and get benefit from it. We'll get started. And again, when I think of fourth quarter, we have October, which we're in, November, and December. It's 90 days. And you may say, wow, that's not much time. Or you're thinking business-wise, wow, 90 days, that's a lot. So again, slowing down to figure out, does that feel like a lot of time for you, or a short amount of time to either set your goals and meet them, or simply meet the goals? Thinking about things like, and maybe we talked off camera last time, we're having shorter daylight already.
Yeah.
So really watching, you look up and, whether you're at a soccer game with kids or grandkids, you're doing a Zoom meeting and you have to adjust your lighting. I've seen that a lot lately, that people start out and then you say, hang on a second, we're turning on lights because it's getting dark. The shorter daylight time, and that can be a whole nother show, and some of your guests have talked about it, affects you physiologically and emotionally. So you may not like hot weather necessarily, but our bodies do like the sun. And we have it's called a circadian rhythm. We have a body rhythm that when the sun comes up, we tend to wake up. When the sun goes down, the body knows that it's time to go to sleep or rest. So again, with the daylight time, that may be something in the back of your mind. It's getting darker. I don't have as much time. Terry, you mentioned feeling better taking vitamins. And I asked you, was that vitamin D, for example? We get vitamin D from the sun. Again, October, November, December, we need to start thinking about it's going to be darker. We're going to feel different. Hopefully we have rain soon. Just feeling colder might be invigorating, or sometimes we want to hibernate. So we want to snuggle in our beds. We want to sit with our morning coffee or tea a little bit longer because we're physically cold. The election is coming up. And so that's another one that we think fourth quarter is 90 days of work, 90 days of services, maybe 90 days of income or not income. Excuse me, the election time frame is much shorter. So there may be that pressure of your business may be related to the election. It may be affected. People are, I'm going to use the word both intrigued and distracted. So maybe you're sending out a lot of emails to people. You're ramping up for a great holiday product, and people are very consumed by the elections. Holidays in and of themselves. Are you ladies ready for the holidays? Do you know that they're coming?
I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay.
You know what? I have just dialed back holidays so much in the last couple of years, as far as financially being in there, and also with a lot of entertaining. So I'm ready. And I think because it's going to be different this year, most of it's going to probably be online. So I can do online. Okay. I'm not a real, neighbor to neighbor, house to house person.
Okay. And Terry, what you said is really important because you're already preparing. So again, if personally you're saying, can't wait for the perfect turkey, can't wait to drive to all the family, they're all going to come in, everybody's going to fly in. We normally worry about flight delays. Well, in this case, who's coming in maybe with COVID, or we're watching online and our family members maybe aren't practicing what we think are safe protocol, coming together at the table, talking about politics, talking about COVID. What Robin opened with was perfect. In meditation, in a mindful state, mindfulness, you are being present, but I also say you're being present with your feelings. And if your feelings are, I'm really stressed thinking ahead about the holidays, you are still being present in some manner.
Mm-hmm.
As far as all of us being in business, how are people going to purchase? So it would be great if unemployment's still there, perhaps. It would be great if there's another stimulus check, but holiday shopping is big. What will Black Friday look like, online or in person? So really looking at your focus of what products are you offering, what services, is it in line with how your customers are buying? And is it in line with how your customers are feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in business, we want to put out a product or we want to provide a service, and it's what we want. So again, in these different times, looking forward to October, November, and December as to how our clients are buying. Our clients' financial position and our financial position. Again, you have a great product. A lot of the salons are opening. Stores, I think, can have greater capacity for people in them. So maybe you're an online business and had a good uptick in traffic, but now that stores are open, maybe you're losing some of that business. So again, just projecting so that you're not hit with an unknown and your stress level goes up. Because again, this is healthy, happy habits. So it's not a business course, but I want to talk about how all these factors relate to your health. And then your financial position. A while ago, all of us were getting offered a lot of grants. Sometimes that was frustrating to apply. December 31st, do you have to pay back your PPP or not? We're hearing if you were granted $150,000 or less, it's not maybe it won't be a loan and you don't have to repay it. How do you project? Do you put the money aside to make sure that you can pay it? And again, that can be stress inducing, anxiety producing.
That's crazy. You mean they don't let you know at the time you get your money if you have to repay it or not?
The agreement was it is a loan that turns into a grant if you spend it properly. For example, on my building, I have, I still call it HOA. That's not the right for business, but the landscaping, lighting, parking lot, roof is paid for in the lease. That clearly doesn't fall under PPP. So someone said, well, you have to separate out the water bill because water is paid for, electricity is paid for, gas isn't, but this is or isn't. And then everybody said, track everything carefully, but you know what? You probably don't have to pay it back anyway. So,
but that's stressful, not knowing if you have to pay it back or what. That's horribly stressful for people.
For me, my amount was fairly small. I was grateful for it. But again, imagine that you have $149,000. What could you do with that in 3 months if you knew you didn't have to pay that back? So again, the activity I'm going to show you today is a way to have compassion and focus for yourself over the things you can't control. You really can't. And then the last two pieces, one I mentioned was the open, close, open, close. You can run your business, you can't. This is how you can run it. Again, announcement yesterday at 3. Guess what? Gyms and yoga studios, go ahead and open. Enforce the mask policy, and you can be open at 10% occupancy. So, I'm pretty analytical and I like to follow this. I'm like, is that fire code occupancy or is that I have 800 square feet? And then where do I go to find out? So I'm reading all the county sections. I don't know what follow the mask mandate means. What I used to know, it meant you had to leave your mask on if you were inside of a building or a business. I don't know if that's still true. So then you might say, if you're listening, we'll reach out for resources. A really good thing, and somebody in Sacramento won a grant for this. I'm going to say it wrong because I'm new. I'm going to call her later today. I think it's called the Small Fitness Foundation. They actually were awarded a grant to help very specifically small fitness studios like myself. So I emailed them and said, can we call tomorrow? I need help on the occupancy. I need help on the masks, and then they may update me on new disinfectant protocol. So again, fourth quarter focus in October, November, December, simply because of the season, because of what you're planning, do you need to reach out for resources? And I love using some of the same resources like BizChix. And then as I have to shift and pivot, it's really important for me to find new resources.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your resources get a little outdated and people might be doing the same old thing, or you're doing something different and they can't help you. So you need to look for new resources. Okay.
And I'll bet you your business is really going crazy because people are wanting to take care of their stress. Yes. And to, you know, so you're probably, people are probably just waiting for you to
and they become more familiar with mindfulness over these last months.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And finding that it's, again, it's, there are many different practices. You find what works for you. You find what's affordable. You find, you know, now with so much online and classes recorded, I don't like to tell people there's not an excuse to do something. You wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you have anxiety and you can't sleep. If you Google, if you look on YouTube, you can find a recording. There's a lot of people out there with some really good offerings. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I'm going to show today, it's called a self-compassion hold. I'll talk a little bit about it, and then Terry will put up a graphic of it. And then Terry, if you're able to come back to me, and I'll actually show the hold. I want to give credit though. This is from her name is Zabi Yamasaki, and her business is called Transcending Trauma with Yoga. Mm-hmm. And the artwork that you'll see in a moment was created by Embody, Create, and Heal. So again, this is not something I developed. It's something that the first time I practiced it, I just immediately felt this physical relief. So we'll see if it works for you. Okay. And the idea, again, as you watch, and I'll walk you through it, is you take your both hands to the side of your head and just have very gentle pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Take your right hand to your forehead and the left hand to the back of your head.
Okay, so here we all are.
Okay. And then your left hand comes down.
So where am I? Okay.
Okay. And then your right hand comes down to your belly. Perfect. And then your left hand goes back behind your head. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to
want me to put the graphic up?
The graphic might be helpful just because I'm not full body, and then I'll continue talking through it. So you can take
I can do this.
And again, the focus here is, you're like, well, what does fourth quarter focus have to do with putting your hands on your head? The idea, again, is you can adjust for that daylight time. You can adjust your business goals. You can take a look at your financial when you're in the moment and when you're being mindful. So for me, I'll be curious how people feel doing this, and I won't share what it does for me. All right, so just settle in. You can feel your hips settle into the chair that's beneath you. You can keep your eyes closed or eyes open, and I'll guide you through with my voice. And you're going to take both hands and put your hands on the side of your head. Mm-hmm. And just have gentle pressure. You can let your fingertips rest up here. And then take your right hand to the front of your head and the left hand to the back of your head. Take an inhale and an exhale. And kind of feel where the heel of your hand is. Feel where your tips are.
I didn't want you to be talking to a blank wall. Here we are.
And just feel again where your fingertips are. You can give a little pressure if you want to. And then bring your right hand down to your chest or to your heart. Just see how that feels. You can leave your hand there. Sorry. Get a little interruption. So hand down here. And then left hand down to your belly. And again, gently, gently press with your fingertips. Again, this isn't her style, but you can even give a little massage to the heart area. And then take your right hand from your heart area and place it back behind the back of your head. You can be a little adventurous, taking your fingers or maybe some areas in there that you want to massage or have a little more pressure on, and almost feel like you're cupping the back of your head and see what that feels like. You can take both hands down again. And I want you to visualize now something that's on your action plan, something that you have to deal with or want to deal with in the fourth quarter. And pick something that doesn't feel good right now. It's a project like, I really don't know how to do that. I don't have the money for that. I have this great idea. I have no idea if my clients will be receptive. I'm seeing you not both nod. So if you have that in mind, again, keep that visualization, both hands, right and left hand, to the sides of your head, and keep that focus on whatever it is that's coming up in the fourth quarter that's difficult. Again, you can use your fingertips a little bit for a tiny bit of pressure. And then right hand to your forehead and left hand cupping the back of your head. Right hand to the forehead and left hand cupping the back of your head. You can even move your hand down a little bit and find maybe like the base of your skull. And it's almost like your left hand is cradling the back of your head. Inhale, exhale, and you're still focusing on that fourth quarter item that you really don't know how to deal with. And then bring your left hand to your chest or your heart, left hand to the chest or the heart. You can use your fingertips for a little gentle pressure. And then go ahead and bring your right hand down to your belly. Doesn't matter the size of your belly. See if you can kind of cradle, soothe the belly a little bit as you think about that fourth quarter activity, that barrier. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then left hand to the back of the head. And again, find that little spot that you want to cradle. You can move your fingers around. And still thinking about that fourth quarter task, project, or item that you just don't know how to handle. You don't want to handle it. And use both hands to give yourself a little comfort, whatever that looks like for you. And then both hands down. Go back to regular breathing. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now, for some people, that's curious because they'll say, well, wait, I was thinking about something that is a little anxiety producing, but then it may have felt good to comfort myself. So I'm just curious for feedback from any watchers, or Terry or Robin, for you.
You know what? I'm always so relaxed. I was like,
I was a couple times like, don't just relax, stay on your task.
Yes, I wasn't really thinking about dreading something. I was thinking about, okay, if I can do this.
Nice. And either is okay. So if there's people watching that said, okay, all I saw was the anxiousness of planning for that, but you could still feel your hands and your body was responding, absolutely fine. If you move to a point where you're like, no, I got this, I can do this, that's fine also. Remember, it's just the first time probably that you've done this. I would say do this 2, 3, 4 times a day, especially if you're feeling stuck. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Terry, but however someone felt is okay. You don't have to have the same response as Terry, but that is the outcome we want eventually of, yeah, it still feels a little tough, but this is doable.
Mm. Yeah, it gave me a chance to talk to myself differently.
Yes. Nice. Nice.
Does that make sense? Was I supposed to be talking to myself?
That's mindfulness. What are you noticing? What are you telling yourself? And do you want to keep talking? If we're not mindful, we're like, I don't really realize I'm talking to myself. And now my heart's beating fast. I don't feel good. I'm not interacting well with clients or myself. Wow. That must be someone's fault. Well, if you stop and go, how am I feeling? What am I telling myself? Do you want to close the book? Because sometimes it's a story. Do you want to turn the volume down? Do you want to take out the headphones and go, yeah, I don't want to hear that right now. And so when we're doing something physically that's telling our body that we're okay, then it's like, oh, well, then the body has room, the body has oxygen, the body has carbon dioxide to listen. Our nervous system is relaxed down, and we're like, yeah, that's not what I want to keep saying. And again, it's not that easy. That's why we call all this a practice. Keep doing this, find something. Simply putting your hand on your heart sometimes is like I've got this, I've got you. And when we get anxious or even when we get sick, it's very curious. Sometimes if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, how are you feeling? My throat hurts. You know, I cut my finger yesterday and I notice how much I'm touching my finger. You know, how do you feel? Oh, you know, my stomach kind of hurts. And our hands will go where we want them to sometimes, or we need to take them sometimes. Robin, anything that you felt? And again, we'll keep it a short practice.
I actually felt like happiness doing this, because it was like I was caressing myself. And when I put my hand on my belly, which I never do, I never put my hand on my belly. I thought, oh, there's a little belly there. And that feels kind of good, you know, because it's a little soft.
But it's your
fine. Yeah, I liked it a lot. And I picked my website as my challenge. Because I'm really, these next 3 months, I'm really going to try to get everything like you did for during COVID. You put all your stuff together. That's what I want to do for the next 90 days. So very excited about it.
And when you feel challenged, see if this is a practice, you know, that will work for you. And if not, find something else to just keep going in a mindful way through that fourth quarter. And that's
it's a way of soothing yourself, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I love it because there's little spots that I found where it's whether I'm carrying stress or certain areas that are really receptive, like the protocol that's been developed by, and again, it's Transcending Trauma with Yoga, and her name is Zabi Yamasaki. If you want to look at her Instagram page, it's Transcending Trauma with Yoga. She doesn't necessarily call for it, but I find that when I use my fingertips in an area, that feels really soothing, or sometimes it's just my thumb. So just finding ways to comfort your body. And you may say, well, I don't know if this has to do with business. Again, if you can't do your QuickBooks, if you can't develop your project, if you're like, oh, it's too many emails, I can't even write the email, anything that feels like it's overwhelm, anything that feels like you can't be focused, do something where you're telling your body it's okay and you want to focus and you want to listen. And that's what I have for you today.
Okay. We're excited. If you are looking for Jill on the web, you can go to Our Breathing Space, and I'll put that in the comments here so that you can find her. And meanwhile, you want to tell us more about this other places where we can find Jill, Robin?
You mean Jill? Well, so Jill, you have stuff going on this weekend, right? And you've got lots of events going on. So maybe we can talk a little bit about what's coming up for you and what you've got planned.
Yes, and I on my Instagram page, I don't have the schedules as much. I try to do practices like this or more inspirational things. The schedule's up on Facebook, and that's Breathing Space. And again, as Terry mentioned, she's going to put the website up. Website is Our Breathing Space. This weekend, if the weather holds, we're doing a mindful family day at the farm. I'm part of a volunteer group that we every Wednesday we go out and we cut flowers and deliver them in nice jars to a coffee shop, and people can just come by and grab those. So it's through an organization called Together We Heal Community, ideally for people that are suffering some type of grief or just need a little cheering up. So Together We Heal, Mindful Kids Yoga, and myself are going to do a day at the farm where we'll do a little bit of mindfulness for the adults away from the kids. And then the kids will be with Amanda doing a short yoga practice. And then we'll talk about how mindfulness is helpful and give a short farm tour. Air quality is probably not going to be supportive, so this will be the third outdoor event that I cancel. But we're going to pivot. We have a backup date already for October 24th. And then Saturday after next, I'm offering a yoga nidra immersion. And what that looks like is you'll join me on Friday night. You'll have a nice relaxing yoga nidra session where you lay down. I guide you through a body scan. You kind of feel like you may be feeling right now times 100. But the cool thing is we get to have some discussion on why am I feeling like I do in yoga nidra? Why do I feel peaceful? Why am I able to focus? You sleep on all of that, come back Saturday morning for another 4 hours with another yoga nidra practice, a body scan, and I break you into groups through Zoom. And you get to have some discussion and talk with people about what you're feeling, get to ask me questions about how does this work. We do a little bit of brain science so that people understand this isn't magic, it's not scary, it's not hypnosis. And then we finish up by 11:30 or 12. So it's about 6 hours and only $60. So less than $10 an hour to feel really peaceful and gain some skills. And it's all on Zoom. So the weather won't interrupt us. The heat won't interrupt us. And it's the second one that I've done. And I actually have 2 people coming back. They want to repeat it again because they really enjoyed the day and a half session.
Beautiful. And I would like you to make sure we get that in the chat because I have some people that I'd like to share that with. Okay.
You know, I have to say, I did the yoga nidra immersion the last time Jill did it, and we did it on Zoom, and I got a renewed appreciation of yoga nidra by having done the immersion. I mean, before it was sort of piecemeal for me. Like I really liked it, but I didn't understand why and But going back to back like that was very helpful to me in terms of crystallizing the benefits of yoga nidra. So I'm a convert. I love it totally. So I'm going to try to get in there, Jill, for the immersion if you have room. I have a conflict, but I'm gonna see what I can do. So yeah.
Now that's not this weekend. That's the following.
That's the following weekend, and I'm trying to put up the Facebook link now to find it.
Okay.
If not, I'll post it afterwards.
Yes, it will be in the chat. And so we want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Jill, it's always a pleasure, and it's very relaxing. I'm trying to find my words because I'm so relaxed. That is amazing. Okay.
We have First Monday on Monday, don't we, Terry? On
First Monday is coming up.
October 5th. Yeah.
First Monday is coming up, which is our online networking event. And we have a wonderful surprise guest for you. So be sure to sign up for First Monday. It will be at 4:00 Pacific time. So that we won't be too late for our friends on the East Coast. And we hope that you'll join us for that. Remember, tomorrow is Friday, and we'll be talking tech and English for business. So we'll have tips and tools that you can work with. I see something here. Okay, and I see that Jill has posted this. So let me put this in the chat about where to find the event.
And we also have Alfredo in the watching us.
Hi, Al. How you doing?
Yay.
And Cecilia, and who else is here? I think I got it in the chat. Is it going to post? There it is. It may post twice because I was impatient and I pressed the button twice. But there it is, where you can find the event that's going to be taking place, not this weekend, but the following weekend, and other events that Joy has planned. So with that, we want to remind you that if you are interested in joining the Biz Chicks community, you can text Biz to 33777. We love for you to be a part of our community. And we hope that you will join us the first Monday. You can find the event on Eventbrite and get a ticket to the virtual event. It's going to be virtual for a while. So everybody just breathe, right, Jill? And we want to remind you
a lot
that
more.
all things, breathe. All things are working together for your good. And remember to go to the front of your own mind. So with that, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Terry.
Bye-bye. Thanks again, everyone.